G'day guys, and welcome to Cars and Culture. Beautiful day and beautiful cars to see. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? A couple of Porsches, Nissans, and even a Volkswagen. More modern one, of course, but it was primarily more of this type of vehicle, 60s and 70s muscle cars, you could say, from yesteryear, and very nice to see indeed. But one had a nice power plant in him, and of course who can forget the iconic Valiant Pacer, very nice, and an old VC Valiant green, beautiful, and it was for sale as well. I didn't ask how much. And a nice Shelby next to that, very black and menacing looking Shelby, when they knew how to make cars. And this thing was a Bedford truck, a ute I think, and it's got a V8 in it, something different. And of course a couple of, what would you say, Mustangs, more modern Mustangs. They sort of remind me a bit of a shark at the front, the way they sort of slope down, don't they? And this thing was another beautiful black car too, with an absolute mirror finish on it. I wished I would have got some more shots of that. Next to a more modern Ford Falcon, and next to a more modern Commodore. And of course there was this very, very nice Ford Sports coupe next to it. And yeah, I couldn't help but thinking the front lights on that sort of, or the front grille, actually the whole thing of the front, reminded me of the last of the Chrysler Valiants that were made here, even though that's a Ford. Another Mustang, little Nissan Z, and this big old beast, beautiful. Look at the real estate on that, and the engine bay as well. Absolutely massive thing, bad as, and that's right. And then we go to something a little bit smaller, like this MG, looking very nice in its blue. I'm not sure what sort of blue they call that, but somebody might know. And yeah, and he had a cool little GB badge on him, MG. And this Cougar was beautiful, right from the green paint and the little Cougars on his front headlights, which was rather interesting. But it was a very nicely appointed car as well inside, and absolutely gorgeous on the inside as well. Very, very nice. Nice to see. Beautiful. The back was just as nice looking as the front, and the same with this thing, which I enjoy seeing all the time if I see it at a car show, is Iconic, who is also on Instagram, and likes to show off his nice iconic looking Commodore. And of course we go to an old EH, one of my favourites, and in my sort of favourite colour of the EHs, with the white and the blue. Sort of doesn't get much better than that, even though he had a hotted up or slightly hotted up motor. I think he had triple Webers on it, and but still running a straight six, which is quite nice to see. Next to a Mustang, 60s Mustang, beautiful Chev from the 50s. Another Ford, modern Ford, and an Audi, something that don't see a lot of. And this beautiful beast, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. As I keep saying, just can't get enough of seeing these old cars from the 60s and 70s. There's just something magical about them, unlike this. So yeah, got a bit of a Lancer action going on here. This was more of a little bit of a, what would you say, JDM end, where there was a few little Japanese cars sort of parked up in one area, but then of course we don't. This is not a JDM. one of the last of the Chrysler Valiants, CL or CM. Not sure which one it was, but anyway, it'd be one of the two. But of course, this one's got a little bit something special in it, I think, because he's got Mopar on the front, on the top, on the hood. So yeah, a little bit different, but still, basic shape is still the same. And then I just glanced past this Camaro, and just caught sight of a Land Rover, old Land Rover. But we'll have a bit of a look at him later. Another Holden, nice Torana. And I think that's a V200 or V300. I can't remember which one it is. I'd have to have a closer look, but we've seen him a few times. But very, very cool. Very close to looking to the R and the S series Valiants. Volkswagen, seen him a few times too, with his little gun turret at the top. Another Audi. And of course a big Jeep, Chrysler Jeep. Another Commodore, another Nissan. There was lots of little interesting little Japanesey cars there too. Like this thing, I don't think I've ever seen one before, but he was there. And a nice Mazda, little Mini, which I couldn't get close to because there was a bloke standing in front. And one of the old Ford Falcons, can't remember which model it is, but was looking very, very pristine, almost looked like it'd come out the showroom. But yeah, very nice. And an original, well, patinaed looking HQ Holden with a somewhat bit of a bigger motor than what they normally had. But yeah, I didn't mind the look of that. Still got the classic lines at the HQ, which is nice to see, which was parked next to another EH. So yeah, I think all in all there was about 3 EHs there. Another VC Valiant. Nice to see a few of the Australian made cars there, as well as the big Americans as well. Like this thing, beautiful. And another Nissan, I think. And of course, one of my something that I don't mind is the little Ford Escort. I think they were rather a cool car. And this thing was just absolutely magic as well. This big Ford Blue 66. Certainly not wrong about that. Very blue, but nice. Next to one of my favourite Toranas, the LX hatchback, 2-door SS. And of course there's another Ford. I think this was a bit of a Ford corner. So there was, like I say, quite a smattering of late model cars, and nice to see a lot of the early model cars too, or earlier models. And you don't see many of these anymore. And I think one of my friends was asking me about these, about the Nissan Skyline. And yeah, certainly don't see a lot of them around now from the, what was it, 80s, 90s, something like that. Yeah, they seem to be all the range. And of course they did have the same motor, I believe, as the VL Commodore, or the VL Commodore had the same motor as them. And another little earlier Escort. I think they're an interesting looking car, and I think they were pretty well made too. Not in bad condition. Torana leaving. Yeah, good one. And of course a bit of a Porsche next to a Holden, of course. EK, was it? Something like that. FB EK model. It's a bit hard to tell without all their original bits on it. But yeah, there's the car that had the boot that looked like the front, and the boot the front that looked like the front. Well, back versus wise, you know what I mean. And of course, they had a few smattering of army trucks there. And that big old beast, it even says it on the plate. And this beautiful, beautiful restored early model Land Rover. What a magic machine. Very, very nice to see. Of course, the Australian Army did buy quite a lot of those in the big early days, and I think they still do. And it was nice to see this beautiful Lancer, Chrysler, of course made by Mitsubishi, and during the Mitsubishi Chrysler alliance, and but yeah, one of the earlier model Lancers from 70 something, 75, something like that, and yeah, of course it had the Chrysler badge on it. I think they did sell them to America as well and badged them up as a Dodge, I believe. But that thing was so cool to see. And of course we come to yet another EH Holden. Very brown. Had some nice gold rims on it though. I didn't mind that. Nice to see the old EHs. Okay guys, well that's about it from here, so I'll say many thanks for watching. If you like this sort of thing, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching guys, and thanks a million. Bye.